I'm going to do something a little different in this video because we're talking about the late Satoru Iwata. It would have been his 58th birthday just a couple weeks ago, had he still been alive. And I discovered this comic created by the Wooden Plank Studios. They posted it over on Reddit, and I'll include a link to that down in the description. But the comic touched me in a way that it's hard to explain. So I wanted to share this comic with you guys, and I am going to put each panel of it up and read it for you, in case you just happen to not be able to watch the video portion. You just want to listen to the audio. So without further ado, here is Wooden Plank Studios' Dear Mr. Iwata comic. Today was supposed to be your 58th birthday. Sadly, you left us 2 years ago, so we never got to celebrate your birthday again. At the time of your passing, Nintendo was in a rough place. The Wii U wasn't selling very well, and for the first time in 30 years, Nintendo was losing money. We can only imagine how crushing this might have been for you while you were battling your illness. Still, you didn't give up. You halved your salary and kept working from your hospital bed. You were the head developer of the Nintendo Switch during the final months of your life. I am thrilled to tell you that the console has been a huge success. It has sold extremely well, and Nintendo's stock price has risen to the highest level in 7 years. But next to good financial results, gamers are happy as well. In just 1 year, we have seen the release of a new Zelda and a new Mario, and they're both equally amazing. Other Nintendo games like Splatoon, Xenoblade, Mario Kart, and ARMS have also received acclaim. Even some major third-party games have been released or are being developed, like Skyrim, LA Noire, Doom, and Wolfenstein. Needless to say, Nintendo is doing very well. Just about everyone knows about the Switch, and I regularly see people playing on the train. Nintendo is their great old self again, and that's partly because of you, Mr. Iwata. You are responsible for a few of the greatest video game experiences I've had in my life, like Pokemon Gold and Silver and Super Smash Bros. Every time I wait for a Nintendo Direct to start, there's a part of me that still hopes you will greet me in your typical quirky way. I am still finishing games that mention you in the credits. It saddens me that you never got to experience the Nintendo Renaissance of 2017. It must have brought you great joy to see Nintendo doing as well as it's doing right now. Therefore, I hope you will somehow be able to read this letter so you can rest easily, knowing that Nintendo is in safe hands and gamers are happy, which has always been your mission. Thank you for everything, Mr. Iwata. May you rest in peace. Now, the reason I decided to read this comic is because I wanted to reflect a little bit on Satoru Iwata. When he passed a couple years back, about 2.5 years or so now, I had this emotional piece that I did. I've talked about it one other time since earlier this year on the anniversary of his death, and when we were talking about that golf game on Switch that if on the day of his death, if you do the directly to you motion with both your Joy-Cons, it unlocks the ability to play NES Golf on your Switch. And I'll be trying to do that myself on the anniversary of his death in 2018. But I wanted to talk about this because there's a lot of videos going up everywhere, and we're going to have one as well, probably a segment on our podcast actually, about Nintendo in review for 2017, right? Talking about the good and the bad of Nintendo this year, and mostly how Nintendo has had this resurgence in 2017, that they haven't really been in the midst of something this big and this popular and this successful in a long time, and Switch is a huge part of that. And Satoru Iwata was very much at the core of the Switch's development cycle. And it's something that gets overlooked, really, because the console released this year. It didn't release 2 years ago. It released now. Tatsumi Kimishima is the one who decided to not release it during holiday 2016, hoping for a better range of games in the first year of the platform in 2017. And would Iwata have made that same decision? I don't know. History tells us that no, Satoru Iwata would have released this in holiday 2016 when Breath of the Wild was ready to go. But that shouldn't take away from his impact on Nintendo still to this day. Not just the individual employees. We know that as much as he might have impacted us as gamers, his impact on the people he worked with every single day, they are the ones that are his true friends. They are the ones that miss him the most. Family included, of course. So, in 2017, as we're starting to wrap things up and wind things down, we have a holiday weekend coming up ahead. We have New Year's Eve coming up. We're about to turn into 2018 here in a couple weeks. I just wanted to give Satoru Iwata a final applause. Your dream for Nintendo Switch has become a reality. It is a success, and I hope you are proud of not only the gamers enjoying your platform, or us YouTubers making content about your platform. I mean, your success of the Switch, your idea for this system, has led to people like me being able to find a YouTube career this year. You're still part of that, Iwata. So this comic means a lot to me just to get the message out there. And it also means a lot to me to just sit back and say, thank you, Mr. Iwata. This might be the final time we talk about it in terms of your impact on the Switch itself. But I want to make sure you get some of your just due credit. So thank you so much, Iwata, for everything you have done for me as a person. Whether you really realize it, you know, all the games that you helped develop and helped code that have impacted my life, you've changed me for the better. I'm a better person today because of the work that you did. And in this comic, they bring up a point where he halved his salary when Nintendo was doing bad. That taught me honor, right? If I'm not up to performance here on my YouTube channel, in my job with my family, I need to take on the responsibility of that. It's not on anyone else to pick me up. And you taught me that, Iwata. So thank you. I am Nathaniel Rufflejans from Nintendo Prime. If you like this video, folks, you know what to do. And if you dislike the video, hit that dislike button. I highly encourage you to go to the source of this material, Wooden Plank Studios, in the comments below. I have a link to their website as well. They have several other comic strips for you to check out. And I will just catch you guys in the next one.